Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby League or Union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and 10 pants less from the kickoff to the final whistles blow. We'll take the two and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With a laugh and a cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. We'll wave the road, from sideline jokes to post-match tales, all the big goofs and their big fails. We're not so serious, and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our skies. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporty crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Oh, wasted world of sports, here's to our cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer. Yeah.
Ahoy and welcome back as the Rugby Championship continues. The Wallabies and the Springboks in the return bout. Excuse me. Alright, so I can't help but notice that it's absolutely bucketing down with rain over in Perth. So I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like it might be a good thing. Peter Steph Detroit comes into play as the Springboks will look to rumble it up the middle if they decide to play the game in close. And under the conditions, they may just do that. It does, though, make me a little bit concerned about my tip there of Cheslin Colby. Cheslin Colby, anytime try scorer. It is hammering down rain. So that might just change things up a little bit. Ooh, geez. Had I seen the conditions before I put the bet on, I might have gone with a couple of forwards for the Springboks. Either way, though, I have not changed my mind about 13 plus for the Springboks. The third part of my same game multi there. McGregor Orchard, ahoy, mate. Bucketing down. You had to plant 4 trees earlier today in the wet. Oh, well. I mean, that's good, isn't it? I realise that you're just saying, yes, it was bucketing down, but I would have thought it'd make it easier for digging the hole in the wet conditions. Dan Jam, ahoy, mate. Welcome back. Stay Hunky says, put my pimpy in. 80% chance for this. Yeah, I probably... I mean, I don't know. I probably would have gone for a forward rather than switching wing to wing. Mapimpi or Colby. Tigers up 6-0, are they? Jeez, that game's about 10 minutes in, right? Tigers versus the Rabbitohs, about 10 minutes old. And the Tigers are up 6-0. I was tempted to go the Tigers, actually, to be perfectly honest. Campbelltown factor. Rabbitohs are kind of stinking the joint out in 2024. I was tempted. But anyway, hard to see anything but a big victory here for the Springboks. Going back-to-back against the Wallabies. I made the prediction a couple of nights ago that maybe the Springboks put 50 on. But now, given the conditions, yeah, 50 maybe not so much. But still, I think the Springboks win quite comfortably, quite honestly. I can't see any other way than a Springboks victory here. I've gone Cheslin Colby, Peter Steph du Toit, anytime try scorer, and I've gone Springboks 13+. UFC did tip the Cowboys, yes. Which I find hilarious, James, in all honesty. I really do, because he obviously, he tipping-wise doesn't have a whole lot to cling to when it comes to one-on-one battles with myself, but he clings to this almost like he's a closet Raiders supporter. So long story short, for the chat room, I did a bold prediction video for the NRL season at the start of the season, and I had the Raiders on winning the wooden spoon. Bold prediction video. So remember that, bold prediction video. There's nothing bold about predicting the Panthers to win the premiership or a Panthers Storm grand final, right? So a bold prediction video is something like a little out of the ordinary that you don't necessarily expect to happen, but could happen. And by God, look, I'm not saying this is a bad thing in any capacity, by the way. It's all fun and games, and it's all a good lot of banter, but holy hell has this guy clung to this one thing all season long. And the funny thing is the Raiders are still going to finish in like the bottom 4 of the table. So it's like, it really wasn't that crazy, but yeah, he's got that one thing on me. Yes, the Raiders will not get the wooden spoon. They're very, very safe from that, and I've been hearing about it all year long. And yes, he, despite the fact he never tips the Raiders to win a match, which is also quite humorous. I don't remember the last time UFC actually tipped the Raiders to win a game. Stay Hunky says, bold prediction is Panthers are still the favourite, right? No, a bold prediction is Broncos will be in the grand final. That's a bold prediction at this point. Bold prediction would be Bulldogs Manly grand final. That'd be a bold prediction. Yeah, just for context. Anyway, we've got more important things to worry about right now. We've got the Rugby Championship continuing. The anthems are underway. Wallabies versus Springboks. The knee crumbler. Ahoy, mate. Bold prediction. Sean Johnson will come out of retirement and play for the Wallabies as a prop. No, that's not a bold prediction. That's just like, share the drugs with me, please. Not only would he not qualify for the Wallabies, he also wouldn't be playing prop. No, a bold prediction obviously still has to have some sort of degree of reality or possibility about it. He's going to eat heaps of KFC and beef up. Well, I can tell you that works. It does indeed. Or not necessarily KFC, but awesome chicken. Wow, it is absolutely hammering down. The national anthems are out of the way. And we'll be about to get underway in this contest. Springboks versus the Wallabies, the All Blacks. Runaway victors in the earlier game. 42 points to 10 or 12. Laying down the law there in the huddle. Optus Stadium in Perth is the scene of the game. Very good turnout, by the way. They say that rugby is dying in this country. Now, I appreciate that over there in Perth, this is probably a lot of expat South Africans. I've spoken about it in the lead up to this stream, that a Perth match for South Africa is essentially a home game. It's a decent turnout, especially considering the weather, for a code that's supposedly dying in this country. Mind you, the only people that talk about this code dying in Australia are NRL, like diehard, one-eyed NRL supporters. As the Wallabies get us underway, and it's knocked on by the Springboks from the kickoff. And here is an opportunity for the Wallabies inside the first minute. There'll be a scrum down here on the 22. Wallabies with the scrum feed. Now, one area that they looked decent, they being the Wallabies, one area that they actually looked really good in their matches against Wales were at scrum time. And now South Africa put the hurt on the Wallabies a little bit in the last outing. Let's see, can the pack hold their own this time? Scrum down, Wallabies feed. Yeah, a little bit quick to hit there. Scrum will reset. The rain is immense. They set. Wallabies secure their own ball. Here's Korobete. Still outside the 22. Pop pass, a couple out from the ruck. Australia still have possession. Inside the 22 they go. Good defense from Springboks so far. Penalty to the Wallabies. The Springboks guilty of diving over there in the ruck, I think. And this is a penalty right out in front. It's a gift, 3 points. Well, perhaps. I suppose you can't really call it a gift in these weather conditions, but they've decided to have a shot here. Noah Lolesio steps up, and he'll have a shot at the 3. And what a start this would be for the Wallabies. What a start this could be from right out in front. 2.5 minutes gone, looking for a 3 points to 0 lead. Lolesio makes no mistake, and the Wallabies lead 3-0. It's a dream start for the Wallabies. Points on the board early. Springboks get us back underway. Conceding early. Pressure on the restart. Wallabies secure it though. Inside their 22. Nick White's got it at the back. Box kick. White. Not a lot of distance on this in the Springboks. This will be a good field position for the line-out throw. South Africa. Go to the back of the line-out. It's not straight. And it's been lost. And the Wallabies come down with it. Australia have started this well. Now crossfield kick. Looking for Korobedi. Colby gets back for it. Sliding across the wet turf. Cheslin Colby's got it for South Africa. They've lost a lot of ground though. Excuse me. They are back in possession. Clearing kick from just inside their own half, and it's lost backwards by Kellaway and into touch. Oh, Andrew Kellaway makes a complete mess out of that. The wet weather conditions making catching the ball extremely difficult, and Andrew Kellaway loses it. Another line-out attempt here for the Springboks. As it continues to belt down here at Optus Stadium at Perth. Springboks go to the middle, tapped back. This time they keep it alive. There is Mpipi in midfield. Springboks ball. Staying down the short side. But keeping it close to the ruck still. Just setting up their phase play. Low. Plants it back. Bundaberg. Just outside the 22. But still in possession. Around the back it goes. Crossfield kick. Look at... Oh, it's out on the full. It's a shocker. Who kicked that? Who kicked that? That was Sasha Baron-Cohen. Mongazuma. Sasha Feinberg. Out on the full. Line out for the Wallabies. Oh, they throw this over the back and South Africa come down with it. Thomas Dutoy loses the ball in contact. And we'll come back for the skewed line-out throw. Very, very... Look, the conditions are appalling. But it has still been a very, very scrappy start to this game for the Springboks. I mean, they won't be happy with what's getting dished up so far. Considering the domination that they enjoyed last weekend, they certainly won't be happy with this. 3,294 subscribers, huh? We are on the brink of 3,300. Surely we hit that this weekend. Scrum down here for the Springboks. Mornay Vandenberg. He's got the ball, ready to feed this in. They're about 35, 36 metres out from the Wallabies line. 7 minutes 40 gone. 3 points to nil. The home side. The scrum sets. South Africa, secure it at the back, collapses on this near side. Penalty to the Wallabies. Well, the referee was confused there. He originally threw the hand up the way of South Africa. He changed his mind mid-blow on the whistle. And it's a penalty to the Wallabies, a big scrum. And suddenly, like 8 minutes into this game, we were talking about night and day between Argentina and the All Blacks last week versus the game we just saw a little earlier today. Well, the first 8 minutes of this have been night and day as well. The Wallabies at scrum time, more than holding their own. I'm not sure how the Wallabies got that penalty, by the way, because it seemed like a pretty clear collapse there from Alatoa. Well, I think, geez. I mean, scrum time and penalties are often a little bit of a lottery, aren't they? But I feel like they dodged a bullet there, the Wallabies. That seemed like, I mean, 90% of the time you can suggest that 90% of the time you can suggest strongly that the player who lands on the ground first collapsed the scrum. It's not always the case. There are mitigating circumstances, of course. Not always the case, but more often than not, if you're the first to hit the ground, you're usually the cause of the collapse. And that occasion, it was Alatoa. Anyway, Springboks have got it inside their 22. They call the mark. They tap and clear up over halfway. Wallabies go quickly. Lalesio into White. White kicks across field looking for the turf, but taken at the back by South Africa, who now clear from inside their 22. It's a great kick. Tom Wright has to retreat to collect it. Dummies. Creates some more space here, Tom Wright. Offloads to Cotabetty. Cotabetty puts the grubber kick in over the top. The chip kick, sorry. Cheslin Colby's there. And now Colby returns it for the Springboks. Space and numbers everywhere for South Africa. But Sasha Feinberg has dropped it. They have just bombed a try. Dead set here, South Africa. The counter-attack from Cheslin Colby. They had the numbers. They had all the space. Colby offloads. And it's been dropped by the Springboks, number 10. I struggled with his name for about 70 minutes last weekend. Sasha Feinberg. What a huge let-off that is. And that's the third error now for South Africa. 11 minutes in, their third mistake. And that was a biggie. That was a big one. Because a try has gone begging for South Africa right there. Wallabies hold their own at scrum time again. Win the scrum on their 22. The crossfield kick hits the chest of Mapimpi. And Mapimpi now drops the ball over the line. They've butchered another one, South Africa. The crossfield kick from the Wallabies, from the scrum, was nowhere near the intended target of Andrew Kellaway. Instead, straight onto the chest of Mapimpi, and he's dropped the ball. A metre out from the line, they've butchered another one, South Africa. Unbelievable. 14 points the Springboks have left out there already in this opening 10 minutes. Scrum down for the Wallabies. 5 out. Off the hook again. 2 let-offs in the space of 30 seconds. There's a long way to go, of course, but geez, could it be their night? Could it be their night tonight? Riding the waves of luck here in the wet conditions at the moment. South Africa, 2 bombed tries. White with the box kick clearance. Not a lot of distance. They're still inside their own 22 here, the Wallabies. South Africa will have the line-out throw. Grobelaar will throw on the 22. This near side touchline. The conditions make ball handling very, very difficult, but those are two balls that probably should not have been dropped. McGregor Orchard, you went to Australia versus South Africa in 2017. As this line-out is stolen at the front, Australia, the Wallabies, they have got it over the Springboks tonight at the moment at set piece. Scrum penalties, line-out steals. It's unbelievable. The Perth. Was that a Perth test? Oh, God. I seem to recall, I could be wrong about this. I don't know if it's, I probably wasn't, it wouldn't have been 2017, the one that I'm thinking of. But I think it was also a draw. I'm pretty sure it was a Perth test, Springboks Wallabies. It was drawn as well. And it was, there was an expat South African playing wing for the Wallabies who scored a try in injury time. I'm pretty sure. Penalty here to the Springboks at ruck time. 22 metres out. Just to the right of the uprights. This is a gift 3 points. Who was that guy? Expat South African playing wing for the Wallabies. And I'm fairly certain it was Perth. And yeah, he scored in like the 80th minute to pinch a draw when it looked for certain the Springboks were going to hold on and win. Who was that son of a bitch? Sasha Feinberg, Gomazulu, Nomazulu. We had this discussion last weekend. I don't know how to pronounce his name. However you pronounce his name, he puts it through, and it's 3 points all. Clyde Rathbone. That's his name. Born and raised in Durban, South Africa, Clyde Rathbone made the momentous decision to leave the country of his birth to forge an international rugby career in Australia. Clyde Rathbone. From the restart, South Africa secure possession just outside their own 22. Box kick here. Was it touched by the Wallabies? It's gone straight up anyway, and Nick White comes down with it. No reprieve here for the Springboks. Australia back in possession. Losing the ball forward. South Africa can counter here. Numbers to the left. Here they go. Mapimpi is in space. Putting the grubber kick in behind the line. Needing this to sit up. And Fassi! Fassi dives on it, and that is a try for the Springboks. Making no mistake this time. 8 points to 3 with the kick to come. That's more like it from the Springboks. The counter-attack was on from the spilt ball. The counter-attack was good. South Africa score in the corner, the breakaway try. They've gone 60 metres. Mapimpi with the kick. Perfect bounce for Fassi. Beautiful counter-attack there from the Springboks. From the sideline, the conversion attempt hooks off to the left. And it remains 8 points to 3. 17 and a half minutes gone. The Springboks, though, as easy as that, right? As easy as that. they run away and score. Wallabies get us back underway. And Korobeni jumps up and takes the ball, but there's a penalty. I think one of the Springboks was taken out off the ball there, impeding. Yes, there was a shove. A shove against one of the Springboks took away their opportunity to compete and contest for the ball. South Africa with the throw to liner. They go to the middle. Secure their own possession, as scrappy as it was. And a penalty now to the Wallabies. Cheslin Colby holding on there on the ground. And this will be a chance at 3 if they want it. The Wallabies inside Springboks half. Lalesio steps up. They might just have a shot at post here. Yes, they do. He's calling for the kicking tee. 23 all draw in Perth. And a 27 all draw 3 weeks later at Free State Stadium. I just remember there was a lot of draws between the Springboks and the Wallabies back in the day. There was a lot, actually. Jeez, I tell you what, I used to make a lot of money off betting on Springboks games when Yanni de Beer was playing. Remember, does anyone in the chat room remember Yanni de Beer? Great Springboks fly half. As Lalesio moves in, strikes this one well, hooks it back down the middle, and after 20 minutes, it's 8 points to 6 here. South Africa leading the Wallabies. But I always used to put a bet on Yanni de Beer to kick a drop goal. Always. Every match. Yanni de Beer to kick a drop goal. Yes. And I remember it went from, in the initial stages, he was always paying like $2.80 or something to kick a drop goal. And by, like, towards the end of Yanni de Beer's career, Yanni de Beer to kick a drop goal would pay like $1.10 or something ridiculous. He just got so good and so consistent and frequent at kicking them. Wallabies secure the kickoff. They're inside their own 5-metre line. Box kick from Nick White does not make a lot of meters. And this will be a good position here for the line-out throw. Springboks. I actually prefer Union, McGregor. I prefer Union. It's just that with Michelle, restarted this channel with Rugby League. South Africa secure the line. Like, Michelle doesn't do Union at all. Much in the same way that she watches AFL, I don't. We both watch NRL. She's got the AFL. I've got the Union. But I much prefer Rugby Union. Rugby Union is just a more all-round game, in my opinion. Requires a lot more skill, a lot more thought. There's a lot more... it's like a game of human chess with battery involved. And I don't mean like triple A's. I mean like battery. This one is knocked down by the Wallabies and the Spring... Oh, Nick White's getting in amongst it as we go to commercial break. But it's going to be a scrum down, a feed to the Springboks. Yeah, the old Panther's all good. He was around earlier picking up his axe. He shot me a message early this morning. Said, "Hey mate, are you up?" Well, he didn't ask if I was up. He asked if he could pop around and pick up his axe. He came around to pick up the axe. He ended up leaving with an axe, a pickaxe, and a handsaw. Scrum down here for the Springboks. 10 metres out, just to the left of the posts. 23 minutes gone. Eight points to 6. South Africa not quite running away with this one just yet. Referee blows the whistle, calls the scrum reset. Conditions very, very difficult for scrummaging. 56% and 67% possession and territory, respectively, in favour of the Springboks, but only 2 points the difference on the scoreboard. That's that's kind of crazy to think about, actually, that it's landed that way. Springboks, much better shove this time. They hold their own. Vandenberg, penalty advantage to the Springboks, right out in front. The Wallabies offside. Wessels pops it up. Here is Peter Steph Toy, one of my try scorers. Takes it to ground, 10 out. Staying on this short side, low. Stands. Goes forward a few extra metres, but we come back for the penalty. Right out in front, it's a gift 3 points. I dare say they'll take it. Sasha, Feinberg, Nemezu will surely pop this one over. It's a gift 3 to make it 11 points to 6. They are indeed pointing to posts. "22 minutes gone." Well, more than that now, 25. Gift 3-pointer this one to put South Africa back out to a try advantage. Over it goes. And the Springboks extend their lead. 25 and a half minutes gone, 11 points to 6. We race back to halfway for the restart. It lands just outside the 22, and Peter Steph Dutoy is up and claiming this one for the Springboks. Vandenberg's got it at the back of the ruck, looking for a box kick, I'm sure. Sets it up, puts it high, not a lot of distance. Contestable though, but moving forward to take it. Tom Wright is under it for the Wallabies. And Australia have the ball back here inside the Springboks half. And maybe an opportunity to launch an attack. White breaks down the short side. Pops it up to Lalesio. Lalesio is caught. White again. Angus Bell there. One out from the ruck. Just burrows under. Sets it up. Wraparound play here for Ikitau. Ikitau goes to ground. Staying on that short side. Nick White. It's intercepted by Cheslin Colby. And Cheslin Colby's away upfield. One to beat. Puts the step on. And that's well read and wrapped up there in the tackle. But the ball is fed back quickly for the Springboks. Corambetti gets a boot to it and it disrupts just enough to create the knock-on. I thought for sure Cheslin Colby was away there. The Wallabies have done extremely well to get back and scramble and cover that off. Tom Wright, I believe it was, making the initial tackle. And then Corambetti gets in there and makes a nuisance of himself. Yeah, McGregor, I've got no doubt that we will do the Rugby League World Cup. We did the last one, so I dare say we'll do the next one. Scrum down here for the Wallabies. They scrambled well and forced the mistake. And an intercept by Cheslin Colby, not resulting in a try, is a very, very rare thing. That's how well the Wallabies scrambled back on defence there to shut that one down. And now from the scrum, the Wallabies win it outside their 22. Keeping the ball alive, Nick White in midfield. Valentini sets it up. The clearing kick for the Wallabies, up over halfway, sits up at the back for Fassi. Fassi takes it into contact, back inside Wallaby territory. UFC, ahoy mate. Down the short side, the ball pops out from low, it's lost forward by the Springboks. Scrappy again. And this will be another scrum down for the Wallabies. We talked about the rain. We talked about the conditions. Understandable. Understandable, given the playing conditions, the handling errors, but still, these feel like mistakes that should not be happening. Just very simple handling errors. Forgivable in the conditions? Perhaps. But South Africa are the world champions. South Africa are the #1 ranked team in the world. On the back of the World Championship. They won't be happy with it. Short side, go the Wallabies. Kellaway's in space. Steps back in field. Peter Steph-Toy slips on his ass. And the Wallabies chew off some extra meters. Back inside Springbok territory. 30 minutes gone in this first half. One-on-one steal there at ruck time. Penalty advantage to the Springboks. Counter-attack opportunity. Mapimpi wants the ball kicked through. But they keep it in the hands. 22 out from the line now. South Africa. Advantage is over. Knocked backwards by Vandenberg. The mud starts to really collect on the turf here. The surface looking very, very... As a South African myself, I give you 9 out of 10 for the pronunciation of... God, well, I've said it differently every time I've said it. Sasha Feinberg. The kick in behind the line. South Africa need this to sit up, but the Wallabies collected at the back. And a very relieving clearing kick. Not a lot of meters made, but Hunter Paisami puts it into touch. I've said it differently every single time that I say it, so I'm not sure which is the correct one. So I've had a couple of different goes at it. Because there's... I'm assuming, I'm working under the assumption that there are a few... There's at least a couple of silent letters in his name. I'm gathering. The line-out throw is not straight. The line-out throw from the Springboks, not straight. Letting the Wallabies off the hook again, and just, again, just the execution. Just these little execution things lacking for the Springboks tonight. In the conditions. The conditions perhaps can be used as an excuse, but I don't think they will be. Yeah, so I'm assuming Sasha Feinberg... It's either Nomazulu, so you've got MNG, Omazulu. So there's either a silent NG, so it's Mama Zulu, or it's a silent M, and it's Nama Zulu. I don't know. I've said it a couple of different ways. Scrum down for the Wallabies though. 22 metres out from their own line, off the hook at line out time again, off the hook at set piece. The Springboks execution lets them down once more. And now an early push from the Springboks at scrum time gives a free kick to the Wallabies. And Nick White will thump this upfield. It was only a free kick, so this will be Springbok throw into the line out. Early push against the Springboks. .33 minutes, 40 gone, 11 points to 6. Grobler with the throw, goes to the front, it's tapped down. Throwing it out into midfield where it's almost dropped by Lowe. Crossfield kick up to halfway, Colby's up, loses it backwards. Cotabete taps it back, and the Wallabies have it, but they kick down inside the 22. Mapimpi taps it down with his foot for Farsi. Farsi with the clearance up over halfway. It's a deep kick. Tom Wright drops back. It's Lolesio now, steps, puts the chip in over the top, looking for the bounce, but it sits up for South Africa. Nobody at the back now for the Wallabies. Nick White's down there. Inside his own 22. Puts it into touch. Again, not a lot of meters. South Africa win that little exchange. Momentarily, there was a chance there for Lolesio. The crowd boos, rightfully so, at the early tackle there from Vandenberg. And it looks like we're coming back for it, actually. The TMO has interjected and said, we'll go back for that. A penalty for the Wallabies. The early tackle on the chip and chase. Lolesio, fair enough too. He was taken out early without the ball. And this will be a Wallabies penalty. 10 metres, Springbok side of halfway. Right by this near touchline, they're going to have a shot at 3. They will have a crack at the 3 points. Noah Lolesio, about 5 metres in from the sideline, 40 metres out. It is a big kick on the angle. With 36 minutes gone in the half, he puts it on target, Lolesio. That is a good kick. It shaves the crossbar. He only just had the distance. That kick must have been just on his range. It shaved the upright. The crossbar, sorry. It shaved the crossbar as it goes over. And it's 11 points to 9. Wallabies hanging in there. 36 minutes gone. 2 points the difference. South Africa with the restart. It's close to the sideline. Mapimpi jumps up and takes it. Can't fire it back in field. And the kickoff is out on the full. And will they have a crack here? A midfield scrum. The wet weather conditions are not exactly set up for set-piece backline play, but are they going to have a go here, the Wallabies? Midfield scrum. They're stacked out to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Wallabies lined up to the left. Nobody on this near side. Scrum collapses. The scrum collapses. Referee says we'll have a reset. 37.5 minutes gone. 2 points the difference. South Africa with the only try of the game. The fullback, Fussy, with the try. They could have had so much more. The Springboks have left a couple of tries out there. Mapimpi dropped the ball a metre short. Scrum resets. Out on the full from the restart. Their scrum is midfield, right on halfway. They do stay left. Now they change direction. You thought for all money it was happening. And the kick in behind goes straight into touch. Well, I don't really know what that was all about. The Wallabies, they were stacked to the left-hand side. From the scrum base, they went left, but a quick change of direction. One pass out to the right, and then they put the kick in, which went straight to touch. Well, they've got the line-out throw. It was a 50-22. New rule. New rule. A 50-22. Wallabies get the line-out throw. Well, that's why they did it. That makes a lot more sense. The Wallabies do get the throw. Nasser goes over the back. And Harry Wilson has it. That makes a lot more sense than a 50-22. I forgot about that rule. If you kick the ball from inside your own 50 and it goes into touch inside the opposition 22, under the new rules, you get the line-out throw. And here, the Wallabies, it makes so much more sense now that they did that. I thought it was the stupidest, most bizarre play. Now they get the penalty advantage, and the Wallabies might just be taking the lead into the halftime break here. Penalty advantage, 22 out. Lolesio puts it high, looking for Cotabiti in the corner. Fussy takes it, and will come back for the penalty, and the Wallabies will have the chance with the penalty goal to take the 12 points to 11 lead into the halftime break. Yeah, so just going back to that scrum on halfway, I forgot about the trial laws, the 50-22. I thought it was the most ridiculous thing. They just went one out on the switch of direction, one pass out, and then kicking. But under the trial laws, if you kick from inside your own 50 and it finds touch inside the opposition 22, you get the line-out throw. So the Wallabies actually had a heads-up play there from that scrum. They win the line-out, they get the penalty advantage, and they've got a shot here. Noah Lolesio has a shot here on the stroke of half-time to give the Wallabies a 1-point lead at the break. Completely unexpectedly. Time is up on the clock, so this will definitely be the last play of the half. Three from three so far tonight. Lolesio moves in, pushes it horribly off to the right. Shocking attempt at that kick. And South Africa hold on to the lead. 11 points to 9 at the break. That was a horrible kick. At South Africa. In fairness, though, South Africa probably deserving of the lead. 11 points to 9 at the break. They've only just got it, but they've got it nonetheless. And yes, indeed, James, the rain is making this a contest. You didn't know Gutho played for the Wallabies. No. If it was Gutho, it would have gone off to the left of the posts. Lolesio pushed it past the right post. Gutho's got a tendency to hook it left horribly, doesn't he? All right, half-time here, 11 points to 9. The Springboks with the only try of the first half. We'll have ourselves a quick break here on the Wasted World of Sports. Thanks for being with us. We'll be back for the second half right after this. Oh yes, Wasted World of Sports, welcome back. Half-time here, the Wallabies. They are not at all disgracing themselves here tonight. Proving me wrong. Honestly, I came into this game predicting the Springboks by 13 plus, which might still happen, but I also predicted the Springboks to potentially rack up 50 points. Now, in fairness to myself, I made that prediction before I realised that it is absolutely pelting down with rain over in Perth. So I've got to forgive myself a little bit for that one. Because honestly, they've left a couple of tries out there. The handling has let them down a couple of times. Cheslin Colby made a good break. Got the offload up to Nomazulu, who spilt the ball. And then we also had Mapimpi drop the ball a metre short of the line when all he needed to do was reach out and plan it over. Now, I say all he needed to do, but obviously the conditions, as we have established, quite shocking out there tonight. In the rain, there's mud everywhere. It's clearly been raining for a very long time. Rudolph Coetzee. Ahoy there. Go Bok. Making us proud. Well, the Springboks, world champions. Yes. World champions. Top of the table in the Rugby Championship after round one. What else? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Number one in the world rankings. That's what I was headed towards. Number one in the world rugby rankings right now as well. So, yes, indeed, the Springboks making the entire nation proud. Dominating the rugby world at the moment. Wallabies, the conditions have certainly tightened this game up. I'm feeling pretty bad about my pre-game prediction now. Had I known that it was raining, look, I probably wouldn't have changed it too much. Well, I definitely would not have said Springboks to score 50 points. Springboks to score 50 points, I said this days ago. Obviously, days ago, I didn't know that it was going to be raining. That changes everything as far as the overall total points margin goes, right? Or the points scored. Rain changes everything. I still think the Springboks win this by 13 plus. So I've got no problem with my 13 plus prediction that you can see I've got there in the same game multi. Cheslin Colby, that might be a little bit questionable now. But Peter Steph Dutoy, I'm still pretty confident about that one. The teams are out on the park for the second half. Cat Lego asks, how are the games of the NPC? You know what? To be honest, Cat Lego, I've not been watching them. I know that they've been on, but it's just, it's just not, it's not physically possible for one person to cover everything. So I haven't seen them, to be perfectly honest. Dr. Pooh, ahoy, mate. How are you doing? 11 points to 9 here. The Springboks with a slender lead over the Wallabies. Ready to get us kick-started for the second half. Nomazulu will get us underway. So the Wallabies will have first use of it. Could have taken the lead into the break, but a missed penalty goal. Very, very kickable from Noah Lolesio. But he pushed it off to the right. Dr. Pooh says the Wallabies are going to win by 14. That is a bold, bold call. As the Springboks get us underway here for the second half. And Andrew Kellaway claims the restart inside their own 22 here, the Wallabies. Setting up the ruck. Look for the box kick from Nick White. There it is. Takes a couple of steps back. Plugs it upfield. Decent enough kick there from White. And it'll be a South African line-out throw. 10 metres short of the halfway line. Inside Wallaby territory. Grobbelaar goes to the front. Now that was surely not straight. They get away with it though, the Springboks. Set up the ruck in midfield. Back it goes for Nomazulu, who puts it high. Testing kick in these conditions. Tom Wright makes no mistake. Claims the mark inside the 22. He overcooked it a little bit there, the Springbok fly half. And it was an easy take in the end for Tom Wright, although nothing's easy in this weather, is it? Farsi puts it high. Nick White loses it backwards, says the referee, and Australia have it at the back. Lelesio's met in a big tackle, and diving over and sealing off was Korombete, and this is a penalty for South Africa. About 25 metres out, just to the right of the post. A chance for 3 points. Lelesio's hurt. They've marched him 10 metres as well, the back chat. The referee is having none of the Wallabies back chat. And he's just marched them 10 metres. Nick White is a culprit. He's a culprit. What's the word I'm looking for? Regular. He is a reoccurring offender. Nick White with the back chat, and he's been marched 10. South Africa don't want the 3. They put it into the corner. 5 metre line out. Set up the rolling maul. Australia drive through, push them backwards, well defended. But South Africa reclaim their shape. They charge towards the line now, the Springboks. It starts to go sideways. The backs get involved and push over, and this will surely be a try for the Springboks. Going back to what they know best, South Africa into the corner, rolling maul, try time. Johan Grobelard, is it? Who is that? Turn around, mate. Let me see. Who has come away with the points here? South Africa. A great start to the second half. Going back to what they do best. Win the line out. Set up the rolling maul. It started to go sideways. Just get a few backs in there. Straightened it up. Over they went. Oh, that was beautiful. Beautiful piece of play. And there we see it. Burrowing in underneath. Plain as day. And Nomazulu puts this one through. The conversion successful. And just like that, 3.5 minutes into the second half. And South Africa extend their lead. It was Marco van Staden, is who it was. The number 6, Marco van Staden. South Africa lead this 18 points to 9. Dream start to the second half. Wallabies get us back underway. They'll start to feel the pinch now, Australia. Told to use it. Vandenberg with the box kick. Clears it up towards halfway. It'll be about 10 metres short of the halfway line here for the Wallabies throw into the line out. They've got to respond now, Australia. They'll be feeling the pinch. The scoreboard pressure. The earliness with which that try was scored. They have to be the next to respond. Somebody lost a tooth. Oh no, I don't know what that is. I thought somebody just tossed their tooth. Anyway, Wallabies set up a rolling maul of their own. It'd be a bit ambitious if they think they're going to get over the try line. Obviously they don't. Nick White now releases it into midfield. Just setting things up here, the Wallabies. Staying on the short side, Valentini. Lelesio slips into scrum half. Now Nick White's back there. Attacking the scrum half is a no-go. You're not allowed to do that. South Africa get penalised for that right out in front. You can't play the scrum half. And they'll have a shot at 3 here. I'm surprised by this, actually. I'm surprised the Wallabies are taking the shot at 3 here. trailing by 9 points, plenty of time left in the match. But this is actually very un-Wallaby-like. I always used to criticise the Wallabies for not taking the points when they were on offer. There was a period of time, especially when Michael Hooper was the captain, that they would put it into the corner. They would turn down the 3, put it into the corner. This is a particular opportunity. I might have actually thought they do justifiably put it into the corner. Lalesio pushes it. It comes back around, hits the upright and bounces over. They do get the points. Lalesio missed that kick right on the stroke of half-time. This time, it just does enough to come back around and go through. 18 points to 12. 6.5 minutes gone in the second half. And the Wallabies, that was important. Important points. Valentini takes the restart. They'll set up a box kick clearance here inside their 22. Nick White. It'll be short of halfway, but it's a decent clearance. South Africa will get the line-out throw. It was a crucial 3 points, that one. It just keeps the Wallabies within touching distance. Time off here. Somebody's going to have a HIA or something. Yeah, HIA. Max Jorgensen, whoever that is, comes on for his test debut. Honestly, I thought that was Tate McDermott. I thought this was Tate McDermott. It's not. It's Max Jorgensen. Geez, that's going to get confusing when Max Jorgensen and Tate McDermott are on the field at the same time. God, they look alike. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with that one. Anyway, Springboks throw to the front, tap down, loose behind the halfway line, but they do come away with it. Crossfield kick here, looking for Cheslin Colby. Australia fire it away out the back. It's tapped through by arm. And the referee blows his whistle, calling a knock on. Cheslin Colby must have got a cheeky little fingertip to it. Cat Lego asked what went wrong with Australian rugby. A few things, I think, Cat Lego, to be perfectly honest. A few things. I would have to say, and they went through a period of time where there was an over-reliance. I would say there became an over-reliance on rugby league converts. And they would put these rugby league converts straight into the Wallabies test squad ahead of maybe youngsters, actual youngster rugby players that were coming through the ranks. Now, the All Blacks have done it right. The All Blacks, with their rugby league converts, have actually forced them to try and earn their position in the All Black squad. They don't just hand out All Black jumpers. The Wallabies just handed these rugby league converts jerseys. And I think that psychologically, that kind of created a period of time where young players coming through the ranks basically looked at it and went, oh, we're coming through as juniors playing rugby union. We're just going to get passed aside for rugby league players. So we're actually better off going and playing rugby league. We can go and play rugby league and make a name for ourselves in rugby league and then get given big money contracts when we decide to switch over, if you know what I mean. So they kind of created an issue for themselves, whereas the All Blacks went, you can come over, but you've still got to earn your spot. Sonny Bill Williams earned his spot. Brad Thorne earned his spot. So I think that was sort of like the beginning of the end in some respects. And of course, there's all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Raylene Castle, a proven failure at an administrative level. She failed in previous administrative jobs, and for some reason, people who fail at these administrative jobs seem to be able to just walk into another high-profile spot. Raylene Castle was a proven failure in rugby league, comes across and walks into this job in the administration of Rugby Australia and just did everything possible. Everything you could possibly do wrong, she's done wrong, and it's just crumbled from within. So that was sort of like the end of the downfall of Australian rugby, and now they're in a complete shambles. And I think they're starting to get it right, slowly but surely. But now there are actual rugby people in charge of Rugby Australia. So it's slowly but surely starting to tick over back in the right direction, if you know what I mean. It'll be a long, long road back. There will be a lot of years of pain and misery left ahead of Australian rugby, but I think they've started to turn things around and head in the right direction now. Dan Jam says, I heard she also selected the Aussie breakdancing team. Quite possibly. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't say that that's ridiculous. The Knee Grumbler says Brad Thorne was a machine. Absolutely, he was. Anyway, that's my little ramble about Australian rugby. Thank you very much for the question, Cat Lego. I love deep diving into these sorts of topics, but we do have a game to call still. And talk about a game. It is game on in this one. 18 points to 12. The Springboks holding on to a slender 6-point lead. 9 minutes gone in the second half. The wet weather has certainly evened things up a little bit. But that said, despite the conditions, Australia have still played a lot better this week. And it is a Wallaby scrum. Vandenberg's off for South Africa. And the Wallabies will have a scrum down here. 10 metres inside Springbok territory. Nick White feeds. Uncontested scrums. Wow. Jorgensen's got it out on that far wing. Uncontested scrums. That's massive. That's actually a big sort of addition to this game. Uncontested scrums. Somebody lost a prop too many. That's interesting, that. Uncontested scrums, huh, for the rest of the match. Down the short side, the Wallabies keep it. Just outside the 22. 5 phases, keeping it in tight. The ball back out into midfield here. Tizano. Lalesio skipping around, gives it back to White. White fires the cutout pass across to Loto. Loto swings around and can't make any more meters. The Springbok defense there around the edges of the ruck, too solid at the moment. The Wallabies are going backwards. 9 phases and no real meters have been gained. White now puts the kick in behind the line and it goes into touch. And that was pretty much the Wallabies just throwing their hands up right there. 9 phases and they went nowhere. And the little kick in behind from Nick White, as good as it may have been, finding touch 10 metres out from the try line, was pretty much just a we've got nothing moment. Conceding. The Wallabies conceding there, basically. That they weren't making any inroads. I dare say that they will attack this line out with full force, though, and try and get the steal. 51 minutes gone. 6 points the difference. South Africa line-out throw. They've gone with a three-man line-out here, the Boks. Three-man line-out, and they secure possession. And a nice little rumble upfield from Lowe. Sets it up. Firing it back into the in-goal area for Nomazulu to clear. It doesn't find touch. Australia have it on halfway. Crossfield kick now. Looking for Kellaway, but it's too deep. And Farsi has it for the Springboks. And again, that crossfield kick, the Wallabies have tried it a few times and they've failed to execute every single time so far. Through the hands now out to the left. Williams out to Jesse Creel. Williams calling for more runners. Stop with the kicks already, says Dr. Pooh. Yeah, the crossfield kick is not working for the Wallabies. They persist with it, though. The Wallabies' defence is a bit thin. Box kick, though, from the Springboks up the middle of the field. Lost forward here by the Wallabies at the back, but it's a penalty. An obstruction on the kick chase. The Springboks would have got the ball anyway, but instead of the scrum, it's now a penalty on the halfway line. Well, that was completely unnecessary. Springboks put it into touch. And they'll have the line-out throw 22 metres out. Oh, a clear obstruction there. The number 8, Harry Wilson. That was completely unnecessary. And the Springboks now an attacking line-out just outside the 22. Full line-out this time. They go to the middle again, and it's taken down by Norty. They set up the rolling maul. Good shape again here from the Springboks. Success last time from the rolling maul. It stalls now. 10 metres out now. It gets go forward again. Oh, they're moving forward. Marching forward here, the Springboks. The Wallabies going backwards at a rate of knots. Williams now releases. Dummies. Just to the left of the uprights here. The Springboks set it up. Peter Steph Toy goes close. Big numbers to the left and right. They can stretch it to either edge. The Wallabies have now covered the short side. It might still be on over this near side for the Springboks. Penalty to the Wallabies. Oh, what have they done here, South Africa? Sealing off right on the Wallabies goal line, sealing off, giving away the penalty. They had overlap on the left, overlap on the right, but they decided to keep the ball in close, and they've sealed off and given away the penalty literally centimetres away from the try line. They've butchered another one, the Springboks. That is at least the third try that they have just completely butchered out there tonight. Time off here for a Wallabies injury. A little bit of crampage in back play. Who sealed off there? Jeez, that was... Wow, the rain has gotten even heavier. I don't know that there's going to be too many more points in this game, to be honest. Handling has already been completely disastrous from both sides. It's only going to get worse. That rain has got about 200% heavier. We talk about it, how on the TV screens, you don't normally see rain. It can be raining pretty heavy, but on TV, you can't see it. We can see it. It is hammering down. This is a torrential downpour. I don't expect too many more points tonight now. South Africa definitely have the advantage. Just by the pure fact that they're already in the lead. Because I don't think there's going to be too many more points in this game. It's really hard to see. Mind you, somebody could honestly probably slide over the try line from halfway. I'd give it a go anyway. Get a little bit of a wind-up, right? Get a bit of a run-up. You've got to catch the ball first, though, I suppose. But yeah, get a bit of a run-up, receive the pass, and from the halfway line, just head down, whooshka, slide. I reckon you would, the way that it's raining, I reckon you might slide the 50 metres and score in the corner. Anyway, Wallabies secure the line-out ball. Box kick here from Nick White. Up over halfway. Nobody wants any piece of this. Everybody lets it bounce, and it bounces in favour of the Springboks. Just inside their own half. Nobody wants to take any chances here in these conditions. Williams will set up the box kick. Nearly knocks it on. That's how slippery it is. Box kick, though, in behind. Well taken to the back by Lalesio, who now breaks away. Beats the first kick chaser, brings it up to the halfway line. Wallabies look to spread it wide. Nick White now runs about 30 metres backwards. Gives it to Lalesio. Lalesio changes direction. Looks in behind for some space. Kicks. Taken by Farsi at the back. Farsi returns it for the Springboks. Chases his own kick. Taken by Lalesio just inside the touchline. Fires it across in midfield. Crossfield kick now for Jorgensen. Jorgensen's got space. Jorgensen's over halfway. One to beat. Puts the kick in. It's charged down by Nomazulu. And the South Africans have it back. The Springboks now with Colby. Cheslin Colby a chance to counter. But he decides to put boot to ball. And sends the Wallabies retreating back over their own side of halfway. Calling for that one to be out on the full. The Wallabies are screaming for this kick to be out on the full, and it is. It is a kick out on the full, and we've come marching all the way back to the Springboks 22 for the line-out throw. Cheslin Colby just overcooks it a little bit. Wow, what a moment in the game that could be. The ball was carried back inside the 22. In case anyone's wondering, the ball was carried back inside the 22 by the Springboks. Therefore, you cannot put the ball out on the full. And Cheslin Colby, it was only inches too deep. Sorry. But it was. It's out on the full. Line-out throw here for the Wallabies. On the 22. They spill it backwards. Korobetti has it. Runs it to midfield. Sets up the ruck. Gets up. Claims the ball back for himself. Korobetti. And the Wallabies still have it 22 metres out for the Springbok line. And again, the defence races up. They're losing ground, the Wallabies. Rubber kick in behind the line will set up for Cheslin Colby. And this time he can put it out on the full. But he doesn't. He keeps it in the field of play. Great distance on this kick, Cheslin Colby. He could have put that one out on the full. And I'll tell you what. It's a monstrous kick. Cheslin Colby has kicked the ever-loving life out of that footy. And completely turned the Wallabies around. 57 minutes, 55 seconds gone. The Wallabies will have the line-out throw just outside their own 20. That must have been so close to a 50-22. What a kick from Cheslin Colby. Wallabies line-out throw, taken in the middle. They set up the maul. South Africa get in and look to spoil. Nick White at the back with the box kick, up to halfway. Mapimpi gets up and competes, but Australia come away with it. White fires it across to Lalesio. Lalesio with the crossfield kick, and it goes over into the touchline. 5 metres, South Africa side of halfway. And again, that crossfield kick is not working out. They are persisting with it. Seb Watson, ahoy mate. Yeah, the weather has certainly not helped at all with this game and the entertainment value, but it has kept it close, at least. Line out throw is sloppy. South Africa tap it down and secure possession, though. Been far from convincing, but yes, as we've discussed, the weather conditions have certainly not allowed for an open, free-flowing game. Box kick here from Williams. Lost forward here by the Wallabies. A result for the Springboks. Lalesio spills it at the back. Has Lalesio moved to fullback? Jorgensen came on in the 23. I think Jorgensen came on at the wing, though. Jorgensen came on for Kellaway, maybe. I don't know. Noah Lalesio just seems to be spending a lot of time retrieving balls at the back from South African kicks. I'm just wondering what the fly half is doing back there. If, in fact, he is still playing for... I can't imagine that they would have Lalesio move to fullback, though. Ah, Jorgensen came on for Pasami. There you go. Ahoy there, Kento. How are you doing, mate? Anyways, thank you for swinging by and checking it out. And hey, in a few weeks' time, this blank spot beside me could be you. South Africa secure the ball. Penalty advantage here, right out in front. Penalty advantage. Kwanga Smith is on the field. They've got an opportunity now, the Springboks, to just extend beyond the 7-point margin. Williams out to the big Ox. Ox rumbles it up inside the 22. Williams again. Not anything fancy here from the Springboks. Just one out play, and back we come for the penalty. It's right out in front. They will surely take the 3. Threatening to put that into the corner. I think they'll take the 3, though, surely. Common sense should indeed prevail here and have the shot at 3 points. In these conditions, it is a little way out, but Nomazulu... Oh, God, they're putting it into the corner. Oh, take the 3, for crying out loud. Especially in these conditions. Why would you not take the 3 and put it beyond a converted try? Well, they want more, do the Springboks. They smell blood, and they want more. They've put it into the corner. They want my 13-plus margin, is what they want. Throw to the line-out, goes to the front. Taken in the air, surely. Penalty advantage. He was taken in the air so much, he's still on top of the rolling maul. The grubber kick in behind the line. It's secured at the back by Tate McDermott. And we'll come back for the penalty. And I would imagine that once more, South Africa will just put this into the corner. For the love of God, Tate McDermott and Max Jorgensen look so similar. Were it not for the numbers on their backs, I would be so confused. Honest to God. Anyway, Springboks. They are much better set here for the rolling maul. Throw to the front of the line-out. Uncontested. Oh, they're set well and truly here. The Springboks getting the rumble on. Falling over at the back, but getting up and going again for the try. Malcolm Marks. That wasn't even a contest. And that was just a little too easy, that try. 23 points to 12. The kick to come from out wide. They had no interest in the 3. That rolling maul was just perfectly set. Ollie is the best. Ahoy, mate. And ahoy, Reed. Who's having a party this week, Ollie? It's got to be somebody's party. Malcolm Marks reaching out and planting that one down. His 18th career try. And what a moment to get it. Conversion attempt here from Andre Pollard. Hits the crossbar. And stays down. 23-12. Seb Watson says 18 points to 16. 3 minutes to go. Tigers versus the Bunnies. What? Rabbitohs just scored? Yeah, Rabbitohs just scored. Wow. Tight finish there, but the Tigers on top. Springboks secure the restart. Sitting on a bonus point here, South Africa. Clearing into touch. Not a lot of meters made from Williams, but they'll take it. 23 points to 12, 65 minutes gone. There's time still for the Wallabies. Time is certainly not their enemy at the moment. Injury stoppage. Jonathan and Reed are both shouting you parties. Nice. What, both at the same time? That's all right. How do you decide which one to go to? Or do you do the cheeky appearance at both? Start at one, end at the other. Am I coming to the party? Oh, I wish. Line out throw secured here by the Springboks. 15 minutes remain. South Africa have it at the back. Williams pops it up to Vincent Koch. Penalty now to the Wallabies. Yes, here's the chance for 3. They've got to have the shot. They will surely have the shot. And Koch's hurt himself. Vincent Koch has cocked up his shoulder in contact there. Oh, they're not taking the 3. See, I would have taken the 3 here. Bring it back to within a converted try. But anyway, they are going to put it in the corner. They're going to try and get the try first. And then worry about the penalty goal potentially later. And I suppose they've only had 41 seconds inside South Africa's 22. So it probably makes sense to try and take maximum value now that they're actually down here, securing the line-out ball and now getting a big roll-on with the maul. South Africa get in and repel it. Drive the Wallabies backwards, but they go again. 5 meters out now, penalty advantage. Can they release it wide to the right? McDermott's in there, trying to scramble that ball out. Wilson pops it up. They're 5 meters out still. The Wallabies, numbers to the right. The overlap is on. Can they release the ball out there? Wraparound play. No, Tom Wright is shut down by Farsi. We'll come back for the penalty. Well defended there by the Springboks and Farsi. And we'll come back for the penalty. Referee was playing advantage here for the Wallabies. And I dare say they'll put this into the corner again and have another go. Just asking the Wallabies what they want to do. Valesio will put this into the corner. 5 meter line out. Springboks. Do they compete? Do they try and spoil the line out, or do they stand back and just repel the rolling maul, which is surely about to happen? Surely. The Wallabies go to the middle. They do try and spoil, and the Springboks do spoil the line out, but it's been lost forward. Is this a knock-on call? Yes, it is. A knock-on at line out time. The Springboks did get up and try and spoil, but it's gone forward, and it will be Wallaby scrum. The pressure stays on. Well, one thing you can certainly say is the wet weather has taken away a lot of the expansive play and the thrills that we expect from these teams throwing the ball wide constantly, but it has certainly brought the game close. We've gotten excitement from a close contest on the back of these weather conditions. Scrum down for the Wallabies here. 5 metres out, trailing by 11. 12 minutes to go. In at first receiver there was Cottonbet, and they've spilt it on play one. Oh, wow, that's a coach killer. That is an absolute coach killer there from the Wallabies. And now the Springboks clear up towards halfway. Advantage will be played. Dropping the ball on first phase. That is an absolute coach killer. South Africa have the line-out throw as well, just to make matters even worse for the Wallabies. It's lost forward, though, by the Springboks. And Tate McDermott comes away with it. Harry Wilson out in midfield. It's loose at the back of the ruck. Now a gap opens up. Australia march forward. Staying down the right-hand edge. South Africa's defence races up and shuts this down. Jorgensen's in there. Tate McDermott's in there. Play on, says the referee. It finally goes to ground now. McDermott releases it for Valentini. Pops it up for Wilson. South Africa are in, trying to steal the ball. And South Africa win the turnover. Penalty, Peter Steph du Toit. Take a bow. Getting in there and challenging at ruck time. Peter Steph du Toit wins the turnover. That is a huge turnover as well in the context of the game. 10 minutes remaining, 11 points the difference. Australia on the attack, and you can't blame one moment, and I'm certainly not suggesting that it's that one moment, but you can't knock the ball on phase one, 5 metres out from the opposition try line. You just can't. And that was a big moment of the game. South Africa on the back of the penalty. Fine touch, 22 out. Secure the line-out ball at the front. The rolling maul has been working well for them so far tonight. And look at the shape that they've got again and the drive forward. Collapsing now. Illegally, says the referee. Penalty advantage to the Springboks. They wrap around in the back line, but it's very, very scrappy. Farsi now puts the step on. Offloads to Colby, who spills it. Will come back for the penalty. South Africa will surely take the 3 now. Although, 11 points. The 3 points would make it 2 converted tries. Yeah, they might take the shot here, South Africa. They might just have a crack. Let's see. Oh, they're putting it into the corner again. Lebok steps up, puts it into the corner. Oh, well, in fairness, the rolling maul has been working out so well for them. This is going to be extremely hard to defend for the Wallabies. Once more, 5 metre line-out throw. Fair enough. Why not? Why not? They go to the front to the Springboks, secure the ball, and look, they're set again. Wallabies collapse, and this will be another penalty, and there might even be a card now. The referee might just go to the pocket on the back of this. Penalty advantage. Shaping for the crossfield kick. We'll come back for the penalty. Look for the hands to go in the pocket here. Time off. Here we go. The card's coming out, I'm sure of it. That's just way too many more collapses. Yes, he's going. He's off. I called it. I called it. He's going to have a sit down for the rest of the game. It was just one too many for the Wallabies. One too many collapses. Seru Uru off for the rest of the game. Just one too many collapses there. And Lebok will put this into the... They'll do it again. They'll go again, the Springboks. Lebok into the corner. 5-metre line out. They'll set up the rolling maul. And this will... We're getting into penalty try territory now. If this one collapses. They go to the back. Secure possession with Peter Steph Toy. This time the Wallabies drive through. But they maintain their shape, the Springboks. And look at the numbers. They're barging over the line and this will be a try. Easy does it. Springboks monstering them up front, and it's Malcolm Marks again. Malcolm Marks gets a double. 28 points to 12. The kick to come, and they have indeed ended up running away with this one, the Springboks. I'm going to go ahead and give myself a tick for the 13 plus. Because the 13 plus is well and truly sorted. I have had no success with the try scorers, though. I definitely win the 13 plus. Wow, Malcolm Marks with the... They have just, like, monstered over the Wallabies here in this second half. Going back to what South Africa do best, right? When you think about Springboks rugby, you think about plugging it into the corner, rolling maul, try. Quick restart here from the Wallabies, needing this one to sit up. And it goes over the sideline, off the Springboks. The Wallabies have gone quickly and secured a line-out throw here. Good heads-up play there from Australia. So when you think about Springbok rugby, that's what you think about. The plug it into the corner, rolling maul, and they have done it about as good as ever. Just immaculate. Stolen now in the middle of the line-out. South Africa still the Wallabies line-out throw. Adding insult to injury. Williams has it at the back. Box kick. Up towards halfway. Jorgensen moves forward, spills it. South Africa now can counter. Knock-on advantage. They'll go through the hands here. Fussy to Creel. Creel steps back in field. Well and truly back inside Wallaby territory. It's all fallen apart for Australia now. Williams to Marks in midfield. Out to Lebok, through the hands now, and space for Staden. Staden is tripped up by Jorgensen in a great tackle. Gets up and goes again. They're 22 metres out now, the Springboks. Steaming towards the finish line. Williams. The crossfield kick now. Pollard. Looking for Peter Steph Toy. Peter Steph Toy slides towards the line. Pops it back in field, and Jesse Creel spills it. Jesse Creel knocks it on, and they've left another one out there, the Springboks. How many tries have the Springboks completely ballsed up tonight? And there's another one. What a great tackle. Was that Corin Betty? Corin Betty with the try-saver on Peter Steph Toy, and Jesse Creel completely titses it up. Well, actually, in fairness, I'm blaming Jesse Creel. I think the call is a forward pass off the ground there from Peter Steph Toy. I don't think Jesse Creel got a touch on it. I might be a bit harsh on poor Jesse Creel there. Wallabies win the scrum. 4 minutes to go. Told to use it. It's Scrappy out the back. And Ben Donaldson comes away with it. Told to use it again. Very bunched up here, the Wallabies. Inside their own 22. Nowhere to go. Tate McDermott's got it at the back. Look for the box kick. There it is. Cheslin Colby under the ball, takes it, fires it back in field, touched by the Wallabies. Springboks tap it back. Referee, let's play go on. And here's the Ox in midfield. Penalty to the Wallabies. Out in front, holding on. Holding on is the call. Three minutes to go. Penalty here for the Wallabies. Still inside their own half. What the hell kind of touch finder was that? Not a lot of meters made there. They've gone about 10 meters upfield with that touch finder. But anyway, I mean, they've got the line out throw still, importantly. 2.5 minutes remaining. 18 points the difference. Line out throw goes to the middle. South Africa get hands to it. Knocked down. Not called by the referee. He must have missed that one. Now it's knocked on by the Wallabies. Double knock on as the wet weather conditions make handling very difficult for both sides. And it'll be a scrum down here for South Africa. I'm sure there was a touch of the line out. South Africa got the scrum feed anyway, for what it's worth. For what it's worth. It's not really worth all that much at this point in time. It was certainly not a call that changes the context of the match. The scrum down in midfield here for the Boks. Just reasserting their dominance over this Rugby Championship. Wraparound play here for Williams. Now out to Creel. Creel to Fussy. Fussy straightens. Can't get the arms free. Well wrapped up there by the Wallabies, but the Springboks march on into Wallaby territory. Quick phase ball here. Now losing it forward. Penalty, knock-on advantage for the Wallabies. South Africa claim it, but will come back for the scrum. With a minute to go, I don't think anyone's really interested in packing this scrum down, to be honest. I don't think either side really cares. "30 seconds remain. 30 points to 12. Uncontested. It's been uncontested scrums for a while. McDermott, dummies inside, goes outside. Numbers here for the Wallabies. Here's Cotabedi, back inside. Well defended in the end there for the Springboks. Wallabies ball, though. Can they come up with a consolation try here, the Wallabies? Wilson, chopped down. Donaldson in midfield. Fires it across to Pollard. Pollard, nowhere to go. South Africa contest, but McDermott keeps it. Valentini, there's a knock-on. Knocked on, and that'll be full time. South Africa have won 30 points to 12. It was close for about 65 minutes, and then the Springboks, ultimately in the end, just too good. The world champions, the #1 team in the world, just too good. Reasserting their authority over this Rugby Championship. And onto the All Blacks they go. Another bonus point for South Africa. And a big couple of games coming up, South Africa versus the All Blacks. "100% DJ Shack, you certainly can't fault their endeavour. But the Wallabies just, at the moment, the reality is the Wallabies just don't have it. They just don't have it. They don't have it. They're not quite there yet. Not to compete with the #1 team in the world, right? Like, hands down, beating Wales is one thing. But going from Wales to the Springboks, or Wales and Georgia to the Springboks, is a massive, massive step up. I mean, that's a big step up for anybody. And the Wallabies, just the reality is they're just not there yet. As I said, it's going to be a long road back. The rugby league convert era, the Raylene Castle era. It's going to be a long road to recovery for the Wallabies. But I do think, in all honesty, 110% do think they are now starting to get things right. They're starting to head into the right path. They've got actual rugby people in administration. The team selections are starting to get a little bit better. Hopefully, for the Wallabies' sake, there's no more of these player revolts against the coach. So I think slowly but surely things will start to head in the right direction for the Wallabies. That's my 2 cents anyway. So, Mookie, ahoy mate, how are you doing? 30 points to 12 here. The Springboks have got the job done over the Wallabies. It's been a huge, huge Saturday here on the Wasted World of Sports. We've seen the Bulldogs defeat the Dolphins. We got the same game multi, 4 legs, $100 payout, successful on the Bulldogs-Dolphins game. We've seen the All Blacks absolutely decimate Argentina. And now we've seen the Springboks with a quite comfortable victory over the Wallabies in the end, but the conditions certainly kept it close for a large period of time. Thank you so much, Wasted World of Sports, for your company here as always. I'll keep the post-game very, very short tonight because we've got some more games to do tomorrow, so I don't want to wear myself out too much. And we'll be back to do it all again tomorrow. NRL back in the mainframe tomorrow, Sunday. So hang on, before I go, actually, let me tell you who's playing. Let me tell you who's playing in the NRL tomorrow. Excuse me. It is tomorrow. On the Wasted World of Sports tomorrow, we have got my Sharkies against the Knights. I'm going to be honest, I'm not doing the Dragons-Titans game. It's a little too early in the afternoon for me, and I really don't care. Sharks and Knights, I will do. So if you're interested in that one, Wasted World of Sports, Cronulla Sharks, Newcastle Knights tomorrow. Here on the Wasted World of Sports. Outside of that, thank you so much for your company here. We've had a very, very big, successful night, and I appreciate each and every one of you for being part of it. Thank you so much. And I will catch you guys tomorrow if you decide to come on back with us. Until then, cheers.